Hello, I'm Jim Taylor with ASU in the Research Technology Office. This effort was very much a joint effort between the Research Technology Office and the ASU Library. We have a very productive relationship and work on many things together to support research at ASU. The keys to this AI tool, one of them I think is in how we decided to go about prompting the tool rather than train the tool with multiple examples of really good DMP plans. First of all, that would be tough to get people to share and to find and to give, to have enough plans to do that. The other thing is that we really didn't want to necessarily go that way. And so rather than do that, we had it compare against defined standards. And I'll let Nathan tell you about that more. But I think it creates much more of an AI assisted tool where it says, okay, here's where this plan does not match what we would expect given on these type of standards. And rather than, there's no automatic updating of the plan or changing anything on the plan, we make recommendations to the human being and reference, where we're getting our information to make those recommendations. So I've now exceeded my in-depth knowledge of technical aspects of what we did. But our plan is we got the tool up and going and did some piloting with very limited number of people. And so that's our plan going forward is we're doing a full open pilot at ASU using our AI tools, which for us are totally within our environment. And so that we know our data is not being fed into tools or training the models or out in the public domain at all. Once we get feedback from that and have the tool in a good shape, we're talking with Becky and ARL about how would we integrate it with the DMP tool as an option, and how would we allow institutions to select the models that they want to use. I would assume a lot of them would have their own environments and want to use them like we do, or perhaps some open source things if they're comfortable with that. So with that, I will now turn it over to Nathan.
Thank you. Yeah, so our plan was to try to figure out what would work in terms of being able to leverage AI to assist researchers in crafting their DMPs. The goal is not to use AI to generate or to write to directly generate these plans, but rather to provide advice and recommendations. The framework we're building out the goal is that we can leverage both enterprise as well as free open source AI models, and the endpoint being that we can offer our code base open source with examples that a team can launch themselves. They could run on their own local hardware, the local computer system, as well as documentation how to go about implementing these solutions in their own environment, whether through university resources or their research computing department, and then how to help assist with software development, if they're interested in providing improvements into this code base. Next slide. So our initial implementation for the pilot proof of concept and now for this beta that we're preparing for is built on ASU's Create AI platform. It's fully hosted and managed within ASU's Garden Wall. We have the ability to access more than 50 different AI models, leveraging making use of our security and privacy standards, as well as guidelines around ethics. ASU has implemented a number of products on top of this platform, including a My AI Builder that allows researchers and faculty, staff to try creating their own bots, their own chat GPTs, essentially, with custom instructions that can then be shared with other ASU staff and faculty. In addition, this is all secure behind ASU's access controls, single sign-on system. Next slide, please. And as mentioned, that this is a first-class enterprise environment that is fully enclosed within our garden wall. This is to ensure that we can maintain security and privacy, so that no data shared with these AI models are then shared with third parties. We have enterprise licensing agreements with all the major AI vendors, but we are able to manage all this whole platform under our security and privacy policies. Next slide. So in addition to the ASU platform that we've been focusing on for our pilot and proof of concept, we are now also exploring self-hosted, free, open source solutions. This platform we're building, this software framework, is modular, with the goal being that we can swap in other AI solutions for the DMP, review tool. In addition, we can, the goal is that we can will have demonstration example code that you can deploy in your own systems that make use of Meta, Llama, Google's Gemma. These are all open source, free AI models that are available that can be run on your own system and not in the cloud, which can give teams the opportunity to explore these solutions securely, because the data the researchers may want to post into here. I mean, a data management plan is technically is ultimately public, but having confidence in what is being used, how this information is being used, is valuable, especially in these early days with AI and this gold rush that's going on. Next slide. So as far as the pilot project, one of our goals was to integrate this AI tool with the DMP tool. And we have the ability to connect to the DMP tool API and fetch a plan, the PDF, using the DMP ID, and grab that plan PDF, extract the text, and then submit it to our AI system. As Jim mentioned, we explored a number of different ways to try to set up this AI model to provide useful results. And we had explored trying to collect a body of exemplar plans, but there's a lot of variation in terms of how plans are written, what kind of, their structure. And what we settled on was to go to the different funding agencies and select guidelines, their rubrics, if they have those published, and basically instruct the AI model to apply these standards, these guidelines, to a given plan. And so we're working with the NSF rubric at this point, for the DART guidelines. And what we do is we provide instructions to the AI model, telling it, here's take this plan and review it according to the criteria in this rubric. Right now, we're just working with the NSF guidelines, but we are planning on supporting other funding agencies as well as institutional guidelines that a particular institution, university, may require of plans and projects that are produced through their organization. So we are exploring the ability to make use of an AI bot that can analyze a plan and select the correct set of rubrics, set of rules for a plan based upon what funding agency and institution it came from, and then take that collected information and then submit it to the review bot to provide its analysis. Next slide. Now, we did choose DART because it gave us a very clean, consistent set of standards that were very well written out in by section. What are the expectations for each section within a plan? Specific statements about what makes a plan complete, detailed versus incomplete or not addressed, as well as sample text of what plan text might look like for those different three kind of classifications. So this made it, we got really excellent results out of this by using the DART rubric. And what we're going to be working on is using that same principle for like the NIH, NASA, different funding agencies, and be able to add that into the system so we have these alternate funding review processes. Next slide. We are getting ready for a public, or not public, but an open beta within the ASU community. This is the front page for this web application. We're working on instructions and some frequently asked questions. The goal being this initial beta, we're not going to be integrating directly with the DMP tool. This is an opportunity for a researcher to upload an existing DMP, whether that's a Microsoft Word document and just plain text or PDF, and then this tool will extract the information and then send it through the pipeline, send it to the AI model for analysis. Next slide. So here's a couple screenshots of snippets. The model we're currently using for this is one of Google's newer Gemini 2 Flash. It's a nice balance of technical proficiency and it's not one of the more expensive models, because that's a factor we had to consider when and as part of the pilot project. We did a comparison across quite a few different AI models to see what kind of results they would spit out, how long it took, how fast they are, because they all vary in speed, as well as amount of cost. Now, one of the recent advancements we've made, improvements to this solution, is we were able to apply we used ASU GPT to write instructions to improve the results. But now the model will take a snippet of relevant text, quote from the plan, and then explain why, what improvements might need to be made, as well as provide a nice summary at the very end. Next slide. And as I mentioned, we're planning to launch a beta test. We're going to be adding more funding agencies to the system, as well as we're exploring the open source solutions, and we'll be working on improving the documentation and then open sourcing our project for other teams to be able to explore and contribute to.